Coach Dylan here with another training talk. Today we're talking about the post A-Goal Letdown. So what is this post A-Goal Letdown, which there's another name for it, but we're calling it post A-Goal because we're endurance athletes and that's the angle we're taking on it. It is when it's that effect that happens when you have this big goal that you've been chasing for a long time and you finally get it, right? And that's, you don't necessarily succeed or fail, either way, it doesn't matter. The important part is it's the pursuit of the goal. And one of the things that is a very dangerous, I say dangerous, one of the things that can kind of be a trap for us, and as endurance athletes, we're kind of prone to this trap, is a large part of our self-identity is tied up in being an endurance athlete and that pursuit of the A goal, right? And so for athletes, the big one is getting your Boston qualifier, or for triathletes going to Kona, or getting their first Ironman, or whatever it is, running a 5-minute mile, right? There's kind of these big kind of landmark goals that have a big importance in our own brain, and especially if it's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice, it is easy to have a part of our self-identity get wrapped up with the pursuit of this goal. Once we achieve that goal or fail, if it's a big A race, pie in the sky, for elite athletes, it'd be like the Olympics, right? You train for 4 years and you go, win or lose, the Olympics are over, right? And so there's this kind of big letdown afterwards where we're just kind of like we're not really motivated to train. Even if we try to convince ourselves that we want it, like the data shows that we're not really into it. There's more skipped workouts. Some people go way off the deep end. Then this is seen with a lot of like really high level goals, like lifetime achievement kind of things, that you have that delayed gratification for years and years and years and years and years, and you finally get there, and then afterwards, huge crash, right? I mean, we've seen this in some Olympians in the past, where after their last Olympics, they just go way off the rails, right? And generally speaking, the bigger that build is, the higher that goal, the longer you invest in it, the bigger the crash can be. It doesn't have to be that way, but the bigger it can be. Most of us don't get too tied up around, a minor 5K, but it can also come along with some mild to severe depression-like symptoms, right? And the big question is, why does this happen, right? And our self-identity being tied up in the pursuit of this goal is a big part of it, right? And we've all known those people that their self-identity is tied up in their job, right? That's pretty common. A lot of veterans, like their self-identity is tied up with being a veteran, of being a member of the service. And when that service is over, that large portion of their identity is gone, right? And this happens to endurance athletes. A large part of our identity can be chasing that big goal, like that Boston qualifier or the full Ironman and Kona qualification. And so once that pursuit's no longer there, and we kind of, it's possible to lose a sense of who we are because a large part of our self-identity was tied up in that pursuit, right? And so there's several things we can do. We can try to fill the purpose void. This is probably one of the healthier ways to go about it. Find something else in life that provides you with purpose and meaning, and helps kind of balance that a little bit. Hopefully, we buffer this effect by doing some of that on the front end, so we're not just our entire self-identity being wrapped up in the pursuit of whatever that objective is. Or we can go way off the deep end, find something that lets us live in the moment, especially if we spent a long time being hyper disciplined and like banking. It's just so much delayed gratification. That's the not healthy option, right? So what can we do about it? One, being aware that this is a thing that you might have to think about and be aware of. Watch for the warning signs in yourself or your friends, because a lot of us train with groups, right? Being aware of that this is a thing is step number one, right? Because if you don't know to look for something, it's just like running with bad mechanics. If you don't know what good mechanics look like and feel like, you can't tell if you have good mechanics or bad mechanics, right? But once you know, you can look for it. So knowing that it's a thing is an important thing, right? Which is part of the reason I'm doing this video, because it's really important for people to know this, especially as we're getting into spring. Boston's coming up, triathlons are coming up. Like, time to be aware of this kind of thing. Don't focus on it, but be aware of it. After you do the A-Goal race, whatever you're doing, take some time to learn how to play again. All right, because presumably we all got into our respective endurance sports because it was fun. And it's important to find that joy in it again, especially if it's something you want to keep a part of your life, right? If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, you got to make sure you enjoy it. Otherwise, it's not going to be fun. You're going to burn out. It's not good. But while you're just playing and having fun, maintain a rhythm. Go through the motions, do the routine. You know, if you normally run 5 days a week, take a day off and cross-train one day. Keep the same rhythm. Just don't necessarily have a training plan, right? Just leave your watch at home, go out and run until you're pleasantly tired, and then come home. You know, if you wake up and you don't really feel like doing it, you know, put your shoes on, go run for 10 minutes, come back, get on with your day, you know? If you're out and you're feeling great and it's 65 and sunny and a slight breeze and you don't have anything you have to do and you just want to run forever, get at it. If you are a multi-sport person and you've been doing, you know, a dedicated training block for running, like training for a half marathon or a marathon, or you've been training for a dedicated bike race, I know Mid-South is coming up soon. Don't be afraid to switch gears. Do something different. Get in the pool. Go lift weights. Go play sand volleyball. Go do something. Be active. That way, you know, we're staying in general physical shape. It'll help you recover from the race, etc., etc. But the big point is to have fun, right? And then be honest with yourself. And this is the big one. Assess your why. What is it that makes you passionate about life, and why does it do that? For a lot of us, we're very passionate about endurance athletics because it makes us feel more alive. We enjoy it. It's a major part of our life, right? But it's a good thing every now and again to kind of step back and reassess why. Why is it something that's a big part of our life? Why do we care so much about it? Why is it fun? Is it the community you run with? Is it the getting some mental sanity because it's qualified time for you? Set aside. No one can call you on the phone. Like, you're in doing your thing, right? Pool workouts are great for that because even if you run or bike with your phone, you can't take your phone in the pool. So you're in the water, you can't hear anything. Pool workouts are great for that. But be honest with yourself, okay? What is it that motivates you? Why are you so passionate? What is it that makes you passionate, and why? And by doing that, it helps you maintain a more healthy balance in your own head and in your work-life athletics balance as well. It's really important to keep the home life balanced, right? Endurance training eats up a lot of time, and that can take a toll on the home life. And that's, for most people, that you can do it for a short period of time, but eventually, even if you want to do it again, you got to spend some time earning those brownie points back. You know, it's important to support that network that supports you. All right. But recognize that it's okay to not have your nose to the grindstone all the time. That's not a mentally healthy approach to life. Especially for those of us who are mere amateurs, that we run and train for fun. It's something we do. It's not like we make a living off of it. So it's not something we have to do to be able to pay the bills. It's something we get to do, right? And so having your nose to the grindstone, being super dedicated, training plan, super disciplined all the time, there are some folks that are good at that, like indefinitely. But it's not necessarily mentally healthy to be so, right? So after you finish your A goal, whatever it is, take a couple weeks to learn how to play again, do some self-reflection. Don't sign up for another major race until at least a week after your race. But take some time to just play and unwind and have fun. Fall in love with your sport again. And be honest with yourself as to why you do it and what motivates you. And that will keep you mentally healthy. That way you don't go on a bender and go off the rails. So until next time, train smart.